Good afternoon, Lancaster. My name is Ben McClure. This is Lancaster Connects. It is January 24th, 2025. We are broadcasting live here from Gardner's Mattress & More, from the studio, from the Lancaster Connect studio inside of Gardner's Mattress & More, the business I co-own with my co-host, typical co-host, Jeff Giannakovo. It's... I should first say Lancaster Connects is a show bringing you stories of amazing people doing really wonderful things in Lancaster County and community, or represent awesome businesses. And our guest today, we'll bring him on in a little bit. He's a little bit of both. He's actually a 3-time guest, which is pretty cool for the show. I won't reveal who just yet. You'll have to, give it a few minutes here. But man, it's end of January, or no, I think I even said January at the beginning. No, it's February. It's definitely February 24th. My goodness, brain is like exploding in there. It's starting to feel a little bit like spring out there. There's some sun. There was some sun yesterday. The next couple of days here, it's going to be in the mid 50s, which that's going to feel like a heat wave compared to the cold snap that we just came through the last 2 months. So I think there's a little bit of, spring vibe happening. I'm sure that's going to get crushed here soon in March. March tends to have one or two, kind of medium to big storms in there. Winter storms. I hope not. I'm ready for spring. If you're ready for spring, let me know in the comments. This is streaming live on Facebook on both the Gardner's Mattress & More and Lancaster Connects Facebook feeds. It's also on YouTube. It was just on the screen to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'd love for you to do that. We are creeping up to about 500 YouTube subscribers for the Lancaster Connects channel. That's kind of exciting. A lot of people watching live either there or on Facebook. People also catch it later after the fact. So not only is this broadcast live, it is recorded and put on, and it lives on YouTube, and it lives in, the Facebook feeds and whatnot, but also lancasterconnects.com/episodes. You can watch past episodes on that page. You can also stream any Lancaster Connects episode in any podcast player. This is a video podcast. If you're watching it, it's a video podcast. And sometimes we bring things up on the screen, so it helps to watch live, but you can listen as well. Any place that you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, any of the podcast players. There's also a podcast player on the Lancaster Connects website on the episode page. So again, we like to tell great stories from, great people doing amazing things in Lancaster. If you are a nonprofit, charitable organization, small business in Lancaster, or represent a small business, that either is in Lancaster or helps the businesses of Lancaster County, we'd love to tell your story. Just sign up to be a guest at lancasterconnects.com/guest. There's a simple little form there. Tell us who you are and why you'd be a good fit to be on the show, and we'll get you in the schedule. Right now I'm happy, proud, honored, whatever to say, maybe humbled, to say that we've got about 3 months worth of shows booked. We're booked into May, which is awesome. So there's, and a lot of them are nonprofits and community benefit organizations. So looking forward to some of the upcoming shows, and again, tell those stories. A lot of times nonprofits and charitable organizations, they need our help. Not us specifically, but they need the community's help. And a lot of times they don't have enough funding maybe to get the word out of what they do. So we bring them on Lancaster Connects at no cost to any of our guests. But it's our way to give back to the community. We invest in the show. We have a wonderful producer named Chris at Cast Ahead Productions behind the scenes who pushes all the buttons and make us look great. Both Jeff and I and our guests. And, it's our way to give back to the community, to tell these stories, or give, again, nonprofits, charitable organizations, and small businesses like our business, like Gardner's Mattress & More, tell those stories that sometimes don't always get told. So, again, if you'd like to be a guest, go to lancasterconnects.com, hit the guest page, and fill out the simple form. We'll get you on the show sometime this summer. Well, I guess without further ado, Man, let's bring on our three-time guest. I mean, it's probably John. You're in rarefied air. I think you're one of our only, or maybe couple, three-time guests on Lancaster Connects. John Erisman, representing Stratix Systems. John, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, for the third time. Third time's a charm.
So yeah, right. I mean, the first two were good. It's just
The first two were good.
We third has a level of expectation, right? So yeah, three-time guest. Man, it's been a while since you've been on. We were reminiscing in the pre-show. The last time you were on was episode 27, and we came to the realization, each of us, that it was 3 years ago.
Yep, it was.
How is it possibly 3 years?
Well, no, just a moment ago you said it was January.
Well, that's maybe what's happened. Maybe 3 years
That's what happens. Yeah,
just evaporated. My goodness.
Yeah.
So what's new, man? Let's just catch up for a little bit. What's new in the John Erisman world?
Well, it was interesting. The last time I was on here, I just started with Stratix Systems, and I have to give a lot of credit to the leadership of Stratix. They had me come up and visit their facility, and they're located in West Reading and in Wyomissing. And in the last 3 years, we have a brand new 70,000 square foot facility that is, kind of cutting edge and looking for the future. And I've been blessed in the last 3 years because I've been able to make a difference in the Lancaster community, not just with Stratix Systems, but really enhanced my my life. And again, very, very grateful. And I just have to say thank you to the leadership of Stratix for trusting in me. And we've really built a great relationship with a lot of amazing companies in Lancaster County.
Well, that's cool. So if somebody watching or listening isn't familiar with Stratix Systems, tell us who they are and what they do.
Well, Stratix Systems started as Copy World in 1970. So you think about back in the day, it was a copier. You would take a piece of paper and make a copy. Well, times have changed in the last 30 years, and one of the things that I felt was unique about Stratix and why I moved as a career to Stratix was we focus on managed IT because, believe it or not, technology has kind of taken over in the last 5-10 years.
Yeah,
and
sure.
It is actually a talking point. I just met with a president last week who said, "Hey, I stay up at night thinking and worrying about, is my data safe and secure?"
Yeah,
and
so it's a big deal.
Yeah, so Stratix is, we have 3 core disciplines, managed IT, content management, which is saving a lot of your data, and also saving paper. Ultimately that is a goal, and being able to access it because a lot of people work hybrid. And then the third one is imaging, copy and print services. So, as you see, we're one of the fastest growing companies, and what a great group of people to work with. The culture is incredible. And, we, there's challenges, but we're always trying to, get better every day. And it is something that I'm really, really proud of being part of an organization that does what's right, not what's popular, especially, somebody who's been around I've done a lot of different things in my life. So, yeah.
So what do you do with Stratix?
So I'm an account executive. I handle the Lancaster County market, which is, as you know, I mean, from one end of Lancaster to the other, it's an hour drive. Yeah, it's a big, it's a big area. I mean, just the other day I was on the western part of Lancaster for a proposal, and then somebody reached out to me and said, "Hey, I have somebody that's interested in Quarryville." Drove the whole way to Quarryville. And then after that, drove the whole way out to Reinhold's, Pennsylvania. I hit all corners. I hit all corners of Lancaster. But people will be like, "Well, you're in sales." Well, I don't look at it as that.
Mm-hmm.
I would answer that I'm a part of a community where I can solve technology problems.
Yeah.
And if there's a way where I can save you time and money, I'm the person you need to talk to.
So you would go into a business and learn about their IT, their current IT situation, their obviously needs for printing, copying, computer systems, I suppose. What does that conversation look like when you're, let's say you're coming into a business like Gardner's, small business, mom and pop type shop. What does that look like?
Well, obviously, everybody's trying to get through the day with their job description and responsibilities of what they're supposed to do and not have any other hiccups.
Yep.
I'm there to help you as a business leader to be that to have the ability to do that. Like I want to take all those problems away from you. We are a one call shop when it comes to IT and imaging and content management. So when I walk into a business, my conversation is I start with IT. I start with maybe, it's a question about, do you utilize MFA, which is multi-factor authentication? If the answer is no, that's something where, especially in Lancaster County, that's old school, where that question then leads to, do you have a backup plan? What about your cybersecurity insurance? So those talking points might trigger we really don't, have a cybersecurity, plan in place.
Right.
And what Stratix offers is a solution that helps them stay compliant, helps them feel safe, gives them that peace of mind, knowing that we are part of your business, helping you grow and thrive and do what you're supposed to be doing, which is generating revenue. And again, I've been very blessed because I have a lot of vertical market partners in Lancaster and, also work with a lot of worthy nonprofits. So it's both small, medium, large businesses.
Yeah. Is there a kind of a sweet spot for the type of business that you work with? Either, like a type of business or size of business, or not really?
There are some, obviously we have a checklist of what we're looking for, but, the biggest thing that I try to do is problem solve. So if I see that there is a problem, I will then take their problem to our engineers, to the people that are specialists in IT or specialists in document management. Never would have I imagined walking into a school district and getting a tour of their building and then end up going into a basement and seeing a room full of documents from the floor up to the ceiling, and knowing that we could help them put all of that stuff into, we could backfile scan it and put it into a system where they're able to access it instead of sending someone down to the basement to go find that information about someone who was, 20 years ago. So it's about convenience, and it's about, again, helping people to do the job that they're supposed to be doing, at their business, so the business can thrive.
Right. What are the type of pitfalls that businesses can see not having the proper systems and solutions in place?
Well, they could be hacked, and they could lose a lot of money. Obviously, you don't want to be in jeopardy of ransomware or someone who is getting your confidential data. And so what we're able to do is to be able to provide you with a plan and a system that is, where you can go and do business and know that Stratix is here for you. We have your back. Another thing is, it's funny is I talk to people about that they just print. And I'm like, well, do you realize that, that whole page you just printed, it's all black and white, but there's one thing there, and your email at the bottom is color. That's a color page. And, I'm very big on the environment and saving the environment. And so what, my thing is, hey, look, put your settings to black and white, and it makes a big difference.
So even just little tips like that, they're rocking the Eagles hat.
Boy, that was a funny day. Yeah. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, the Eagles really came on strong at the end of the year. That was exciting.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, I know you're a big Philly sports fan in general, but yeah, Jeff is, out of the two of us, he's the big Eagles guy, and he hasn't been in the show for the last few months here, unfortunately. So we haven't had much Eagles talk. So if you want to fill the gap there, by all means,
Well, I
You know,
can't
you got
replace Jeff Schnackabell, that's for
no,
sure.
not at all.
But I do remember that he was a little bit leery of the coach
A
Sirianni
little
and
bit,
also
a
Jalen
little bit,
Hurts a little bit.
a little
But
bit.
there was a reason they drafted Jalen Hurts.
Hmm.
He was able to have a pro set in Alabama and Oklahoma. A
Hmm.
lot of people don't realize that, and that prepared him for the NFL.
Yep.
And everybody's like, "Well, the Eagles already have a quarterback. Why are they drafting Jalen Hurts?" But they put the right pieces
Hmm.
together. They had a great offseason, a great draft,
Yeah, yeah.
and they clicked at the end of the year this year,
Yep.
and got that Super Bowl ring, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah. No, and you and I are both Sixers fans, so there couldn't be more polar opposites in the way those seasons went and are going. So next year, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
at this point,
Now,
that's all we
I
can
love
hope.
basketball, so I love to play basketball. So watching the Sixers the way they're playing right now, it's they're struggling. They have some injuries, and maybe next year.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, I play some pickup ball about once a week. I'll have to get you out the court, man.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, you said managed IT solutions. To me, I mean, I know what IT is, information technology, right? But what is managed IT? Like, what is that?
Well, essentially, what I take from that is we will manage your information technology. We
Okay.
will take, again, it is a process, from start to finish. If I go into an attorney office, an accounting firm, a construction company, obviously we're talking to the director of IT. If they don't have one, we talk to, the controller or the president of the company. And I have these meetings every day, and I bring in our leadership team, our IT team, and we have some questions. And what we do is we kind of qualify them to see if they are a good fit with us, because not everybody is a good fit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so once we go through that process, we then will do an assessment at their business, and that assessment then brings out some of the loopholes or some of the things they're missing,
Uh-huh.
and then we have a recommended kind of like a technology roadmap per se, and then with that roadmap, we give them options, and they make a selection, and hopefully it's Stratix Systems.
So, and of course, if there's a problem with any of the systems, you're a phone call away, right?
Well, we're on it. We're on it. We see a lot of times before there's even something happening, we are already on there's any issues that arise. But yeah,
Gotcha.
yes, we are a phone call away. And but a lot of things are handled remotely nowadays. But we're very well known in the community. Our
Yeah.
service is incredible, and so that's another thing about Stratix. I mean, we have our technicians, or they're all GPS. They're local. They're right here in Lancaster County, and it's great because when I talk to my current customers, they're like, "John, we made this switch to Stratix Systems because, and not because of you, because you're a great guy, or not because we heard a lot of great things about Stratix. It's because of service." And I'll tell you
Okay.
what, that has made a big difference. So there's a shout out to my coworker Sean Ricketts.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, I mean, service would be pretty quick then. Like if there's a problem, something goes down, you have a crew there the same day, I would imagine.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Even in some instances with IT, in accounting seasons right now, we have several
Yeah.
clients that are accounting
Hmm.
firms. It's even weekends. We're right
Yeah,
there.
right.
So
Right.
we're monitoring 24/7, and again, depending on the plan that they choose. But again, it goes back to like I said last week, I had a conversation with the president. He's like, "I'm up at night worrying about being hacked. I'm up at night worrying
Right.
about losing my data that's confidential." And that's where we bring that peace of mind. Like, hey, we got you handled. We got you on that. And so, there's one thing about talking the talk, then there's walking the walk, and
Yeah.
we under promise and over deliver. And
Sure.
I can't state that enough with Stratix Systems.
So from a hack standpoint, you're preventing a hack from occurring? Is that what I'm understanding there?
I'm not going to say that we're going to prevent a hack because
Okay.
there's ways of attaining information through a photocopier by trying to gather data. I mean, if you think about people on the dark web, they're constantly trying to get information from you. So they might be able to get an email address off of a photocopier of all things. And then they're going to start to send phishing campaigns where they're sending emails to employees. And this happened in Lancaster County, right outside the western part of Lancaster, where they emailed somebody in finance and said, hey, this is past due. This is, you need to pay this bill now. Please provide us with your account number. And it was for like $1,500. Well, guess what? Once they got the account number, that person on the dark web is able to access all of their monetary funds. Can you imagine how quickly that money is taken? So there is, it's out there, and it's sad the way the world is, and information is so quick. But you have to be very, very careful. Our employees at Stratix, 170 employees, every month we have to, we take quizzes and certifications. We have to be certified every month on compliance and safety, and making sure that, we're changing our passwords. Just little things like that, multi-factor authentication. It's so important to have all these things in place to protect you from that disaster.
Yeah. So you've mentioned multi-factor authentication a couple times. For those who don't know what that is, can you explain it?
Well, okay. So I have a cell phone, and I have a laptop. And if I, in the morning, would get up, and I got to the office this morning at 7:30, me and my sales manager were there, and I get onto my laptop and I put in my password. Well, it actually sends a message to my phone and says, are you trying to log into your laptop? Are you? And then I accept, yes. And I'll tell you what, when I first started at Stratix, all my previous companies, they didn't have any of this.
No,
so
right.
This is I'm like, wow, like this is big time. And it is a safety net. And it is great because it allows you to feel protected, even as an employee, knowing that, okay, because if I would lose my laptop, say you and I go to a Sixers game and I leave the Jeep open and somebody takes my laptop, if I had it in the Jeep, and we come out after the Sixers game, another 20-point loss, and somebody took my laptop and they try to get on try to get on. Well, they can't because of multi-factor authentication. So it is a big deal, and it's a talking point. It is. We're 2025, and we're in 2025. It's a talking point, and IT. I can talk to anybody about IT. And that's what's unique about Stratix, is because you started as Copy World. We were in the, Rico is our, we're one of the biggest Rico dealers in the country, and we are knocking it out of the park with that. But IT is a conversation piece.
Yeah, that was one of the questions I was going to ask when you were talking about how you and every employee at Stratix has to go through training sessions, monthly training sessions, and maybe even more frequently. I got to imagine that in the cybersecurity world or just IT world, things are changing at such a rapid pace, and that might even be like hourly things are changing because, I guess hackers are getting smarter, and the ways that they can steal your information is, getting more and more vast. You've got to stay on top of it to make sure you're providing the services that the businesses who are your clients need. So, you're constantly learning about new things.
Absolutely. I mean, it is wonderful. I mean, I just had a birthday. I turned an age I'm not going to say on here, but I can tell you that I've learned more in the past 3 years about, it is ongoing training.
Yeah.
And it is amazing. The education and learning something every day and being able to translate that and communicate that to other people. It's huge. It's huge. I mean, it's incredible what we are doing at Stratix. And it's not about just our huge building in YMSing and all the different other locations that we have. It's about what we're able to do for our clients. And that's
Yeah.
the most important thing.
So what else? We got managed IT, we've got cybersecurity, printing supplies.
Yep.
Anything
Yep.
else that
Well,
Stratix handles for you?
one of the biggest things, a lot of people, I'll talk about copiers for a second. A lot of people are like, hey, I have a copier that's, this thing's working. And I've had it for years. I live in Lancaster, and I have my own business, and one of the things that ties into security is once you get to 5 to 7 years, that copier doesn't have security patch updates, and there's a lot of times parts that aren't made anymore to fix that copier. But a lot of people are like, well, if it isn't fixed, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. My philosophy is why not safeguard your business? Get a copier that is protected with our technology, and it's a big difference. And so,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I see this a lot because in Lancaster, it's I still have my same truck that I've always had, and it works fine. And well, it's a little different when you're talking about dollars and cents, and when you're talking about business, you'd never think you're going to get hacked through your copier. You never thought that your copier is going to break down, and then all of a sudden, oh boy, because everybody just wants the thing to work. So I can't urge people enough to be like, hey, look, I know that copier is 9.5 years old and it's still working. It sounds like an old snowmobile, but it's time to upgrade and talk to John Erisman.
There you go. So you said it there, and you said it before in the show. I never thought that you could hack a printer, a copier. That seems like just an innocent piece of equipment sitting there that, you get frustrated when it doesn't print the thing that when you press a print button, right? And it's usually a setting or something that's you've done.
Well,
But
think about
I
that.
didn't think that could be, I didn't know that could be hacked.
Well, think about this. Let's just say you're a doctor's office, and you have very confidential information, and you're scanning it through your copier.
Yep.
To your email.
Right.
There you go. There's a way right there. So people on the dark web, and people that are they're looking at that, and they're just licking their chops, thinking, if I can get some of this information, and then I'm going to notify the CFO, I have all this information, and you got to pay me $150,000, or I'm going to share it with, no wonder the presidents are up at night worried, because that's a problem. So it's a lot different than, when Copy World started in 1970, that's for sure.
Sure. So that printer, because it's connected to the Wi-Fi and the network, that's the reason why, right?
Yep.
That's
you
great.
can, if you have just a little printer that's sitting in the back, and you plug it in, and just one copy, that's another thing. But when you're talking, and I walk into businesses every day, they have, one copier up to, 100 copiers that are multifunction copiers. Those copiers are liable, and they're kind of like sitting ducks when it comes to being hacked. And so the nice thing is the Stratix Systems is able to provide you with ways to save, and also have the reassurance of knowing that we're there to protect what your business is all about.
That's the key. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day. And especially doing these shows, talking to a bunch of different people, you just learn all kinds of things that you just didn't know. I never knew that you could hack a printer. But it makes sense. And it makes sense why you have the solutions that you have at Stratix Systems that you're offering to Lancaster County businesses. What are some other things that businesses could encounter? So you told the story of the the $1,500 hack that this one business had. Are there any other horror stories that you have that, obviously you don't have to name businesses or anything like that, but businesses like us, what other things could happen as a result of not having a right system in place?
Again, the dark web is so smart that they're able to kind of they're going to research your business. So we'll take Gardner's Mattress More, for example.
Yeah.
You're like, why would anybody want to hack us? Well, if they can get accounting information Or actually, if they can get all of your customer base, all of your customers work somewhere, right? And they can get
Yep.
all of their data, and all of a sudden they find out where all your customers work.
Yep.
And then they start digging there. It is to them, it's a money making machine.
Right.
And so you're like, oh, well, a small business like us really isn't affected. But what it is, it's that domino effect where it affects a lot of people. And it could really damage, the pocketbooks of quite a few people too. So you never be too safe. And the training that we have is incredible because it's we have to watch videos and scenarios, and we do role play, and it's mandatory because we have to be compliant. And when we sign a partner on, we do the exact same thing. We actually help them with their cybersecurity training, and so it's we kind of practice what we preach.
Yeah, so that's something I was going to ask. So not only are you implementing all of the systems within the business, you're teaching the employees of the business who have typically, no IT background. Most, like for example, retail sales associates or, people, they know how to run their own business, but they don't know how to service and manage the systems that run the business. So you come in there and do the training with the staff to make sure they understand what's going on.
Yep, we do a lot of different creative ways. We have lunch and learns with the employees. We have quarterly meetings with our managed IT partners. In fact, we have one this Friday. Somebody that we just onboarded in the fall. It's a touch point weekly. And it's also we have these quarterly meetings because we say, hey, look, we've noticed a trend here. We just wanted to make you aware. And we'll sit in a room with the president, the controller, the CFO, the finance director, the director of IT. And we give them a full report of where they've been and where they are and what we kind of perceive in the future. And having that plan, it's not just like, hey, we're gonna sign up with Stratix and then that's it, the transaction. No.
Right. See you later.
That's when the work begins, is once you partner with us, and we're the ones doing the work to help you sleep at night, sleep better on Gardner's mattress.
I see what you did there. There. Yeah. So, I mean, that's a huge part of it. So, something happens, there's a new type of cyber crime, let's say, and you're aware of it, and it's your responsibility to inform all of your clients that, hey, this threat exists. And for the business owner to not have to be paying attention to it, to know that you're going to have their back and say, hey, we've got to watch out for this, this, and this. We've got this new program that you can put in place, or whatever it is to thwart the cyber effort, right? I mean, that's huge peace of mind for any business out there.
Yes, it is. It is.
That's cool. Anything else you'd like to share about Stratix? This was huge education for me. Hopefully for the people watching and listening, it was for them as well.
Well, I will say that Stratix is very involved in the community. We are, a lot of businesses out there are, making millions of dollars. And one of the things that I love about Stratix is we are very, very involved in all of our locations, where our region is we cover Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware, a little bit of Maryland, or get into Maryland a little bit. But what we do is we find ways to give back. And our ownership, our leadership team, we're very involved in what's going on. That's actually the Lancaster Rotary Fall Festival. And, Sunrise Rotary actually benefited the benchmark program. And absolutely incredible, raising, I think it was a little over $50,000.
That's awesome.
That's what I would say about Stratix is everybody's like, what do they do at Stratix? Well, what we do is we're making an impact in the community that's going to have a lasting effect.
Yep. Yeah. Safeguarding the community from threats. And then, of course, what was that day?
that
Oh,
was
three
that was
three years
that
of
was my
Stratix. There you go.
well, yeah, well, that was actually my wedding day right there. That
All
picture,
right. There you go.
and,
There you
and
go.
that's the guy who took a chance on me at Stratix. And
Oh, that's cool.
what a great leader, Tim Cunningham. What a great leader.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, congrats to you for the wedding, for getting married. That's awesome. I know that happened within the last year, and congrats on 3 years here. And you had a birthday. Happy birthday! I mean,
Yeah,
you got all kinds of milestones going on here.
yeah. Well, we'll talk
We
about the birthdays. Just keep on
I
keeping
feel
on.
you, man. I feel you.
Keep on
I'm
keeping.
not that much farther, or I'm not that far behind you. I know that. So yeah, I mean, last time you were on the show, we kind of had more of a conversation about John Erisman being a man around the town, right? You know Lancaster County like the back of your hand, Lancaster City. Let's rap about Lancaster a little bit.
Well, Lancaster is a very unique place. There's some days where it can drive you crazy. You're
Okay.
like, what?
Yeah.
What? You know, there's just so many different levels. And it's so funny you say that because I do remember now we talked about like just the diversity that Lancaster
Yeah.
provides.
Yep.
And
Yep.
yeah, why is it a melting pot? And, I've been, again, blessed to be able to, be in Lancaster my entire life. I've worked in
Yeah.
New York City and I've worked in some of the big cities in Philly. I worked in Philly, but, Lancaster, the community is, when it comes together, they can't be stopped.
Yeah. You're
That's what I'll say about
100%.
Lancaster.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I know you like to go out, go downtown, whatnot. Where's some of the places that John Erisman likes to go?
Well, my wife and I, Bess, we love to be outside.
There you
We
go.
do love to be outside.
There's John Erisman outside right there.
Yeah, there's Dipco. I'll tell you a place that my old high school buddy, Alberto Flores, just opened up downtown. It's called Bert and the Elephant. It's a Belgian
Okay.
cafe.
Yeah, I
It is
haven't been there yet, but I know
wonderful.
you go. Yeah.
Yes, you definitely need to go. And I got to tell you, as much of a history lesson as Stratix has been, my wife has showed me things in Lancaster and beyond that I've never ever would even imagine. I mean, like,
That's cool.
some of the places she's taken me. It's funny. Like, I've never been to BB's, and she's like, "We're going to BB's on a date,"
Right.
and it's
Right.
and I'm like, "This is awesome." So, but we went to
BB
Burton Elephant. This
BB's
is
Discount Grocery, right?
yeah,
Yeah, it's a Lancaster County institution. I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah. So now
Bert the Elephant. Let's talk about that. On the screen Chris had there, it said Belgian Cafe, maybe Lancaster's first Belgian cafe or something like that. What what is a Belgian cafe?
So they have what's called it's delirium beer. But they
Okay.
also, it's a cafe because there's some of the food is amazing. They have the chicken bites, they have the peach whiskey wings, the smash burger is incredible. And the vibe is just I actually think it's what Lancaster's all about, but you're getting Belgium plopped right on East
Right.
King Street. Yeah. So
That's right there at the square, right?
it's right across from Annie Bailey's. It's down from the square a little
Oh,
bit.
okay, just down from the square a little bit. Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. And so Alberto Flores used to have Bert's Bottle Shop in Millersville. That's where I
Yes.
lived. Taught at Penn Manor for 15 years, and I was in Millersville for most of my life. And he decided, after taking a trip over to Belgium, to
Yeah.
bring that vibe into Lancaster. And he took a chance, and he also had to deal with a lot of,
Yeah.
inspections and making sure
Sure.
everything was compliant. But great place, lots of fun, and it's possibly someplace to have a conversation about your IT.
I see what you did there too.
Yeah.
So, Bert the Elephant. Do you know Alberto? Can you connect the dots there? I'd love to have him on.
I definitely can, and I would tell you a story
That'd be
about
cool.
Bert. So we both love the outdoors. We both run. We're both runners, but we both played soccer instead of being on a cross country team.
Yep.
And he was a great soccer player. I played soccer to get in shape for basketball and baseball. But
There you go.
we went to high school together, and I tell you what, Bert has he has come full circle. But yes, I will definitely connect the dots. His
That's cool.
story is absolutely incredible,
I'd
and
love to tell it.
Beth and I love to go there. It is loads of fun. When you're not feeling, you're kind of down and you're kind of like, I'm just the whole week's been horrible, and this is what's
Yep.
I'm just not feeling it.
Yep.
What a burnt elephant! It'll just boost your spirits.
I mean, it looks awesome.
Yeah.
And look, there's an elephant outside. I mean, how can you not like it?
I know.
That's cool. Any other hot spots in Lancaster you like to go to?
I mean, we like to try new things. One of the things I will say is, um, Beth and I really, we're involved with a lot of nonprofits, and I want to volunteer more. I really do.
Yeah.
And I want to be more involved in what's going on in the community, because it's great to go out and to go to Burnt the Elephant or go to a place that's real nice and have a great meal and great conversation, and it's wonderful. But to be able to pay it forward and to serve is that's what it's all about.
Yeah, no question. And there's no shortage of nonprofits, charitable organizations, community benefit organizations. I forget who gave us that term. Maybe the Music for Everyone guy, John Gertie. I think that came from him. Community benefit organizations. There's no shortage of organizations that give back to the community of Lancaster, in Lancaster. So that's awesome. That's awesome that you like to give back. I mean, you mentioned Benchmark, the event that Stratix had that benefited Benchmark. They were on the show within the last year. It was great talking to Will from Benchmark, doing awesome things with the youth in Lancaster City.
Yep,
man,
and
this is. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say Will's a Penn Manor guy, and
okay,
he's come full circle. I was again blessed to coach and teach at Penn Manor, and still very connected. In fact, Penn Manor Education Foundation had their extraordinary give at Burnt the Elephant, and I said to Beth, I said, we're going to stop in here. We walked in, and a bunch of my old students and a lot of my teacher buddies and the principal, and it was like kind of like, how it's like going back in time,
right.
It's almost like you and I are Sixers fans, is like when they had Allen Iverson, and it's like, I want that back. I want Allen Iverson back, and that team that in 2001 that just about the whole way.
I mean, just for recent history, I want to go back to like whatever that date was in January when they played the Warriors, and before the dude fell on Embiid's leg. I want to go back to the minute before that time and take the dude out of the game, because he has not been the same ever since.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Beth and I love the Sixers, and we want Embiid to be healthy because he's a difference maker.
He can be when he's healthy. So hey, are you ready for a connection cocktail? I mean, we've kind of like been doing it a little bit through the show here, but connection cocktail is just a few questions to get to know Mr. John Erisman a little bit better. So I don't know this about you. What was your first job?
My first job was in construction. So I was a carpenter, when I was in middle school and my high school years. My summer was working as a carpenter, and I learned how to frame houses and build decks and fences, and
that's cool.
I love it. And the great thing is being able to use that to remodel our home and have outside at birdhouses and I built a stage for a band that played at our wedding. We had our wedding reception at the house, and it was wonderful. So that was my first job. And I tell you what, was again, when you're learning a trade like that, it's so valuable.
Well, one of my first jobs was flipping hamburgers. So, I mean, I guess you could say I learned that skill, but that is nothing like the skill of building houses or fences or actual skill that you can use in your adult life. I mean, I like cooking on the grill, but that's something I think anybody can do. Cool. Thanks for sharing. So let's see. What do you like to do to unwind?
Well, Beth and I rescued it's a great question. Beth and I rescued a golden retriever about a year and a half ago.
Oh, cool.
From a Amish farm that was using the retrievers for breeding. And
Oh, yeah.
another thing I want to do is to be more of an advocate for that,
Yeah.
especially in Lancaster County. But to unwind, it's one of our favorite things to do. Is we take our golden retriever Cinnamon and take her in the woods, and just yesterday we took this 3 mile hike up
Oh,
and
that's
down
cool.
Noldy Forest. It's and had a great walk and with Cinnamon. So that's what we do to unwind. Believe it or not, it's like exercise outside. It's
Well, and
way to unwind.
like I said at the top of the show, I mean, yesterday was beautiful out. Today, tomorrow, Wednesday, it's going to be like mid 50s, high 50s. I mean, spring's coming and summer's just around the corner. So, we've often said on the show, there's no shortage of great outdoor spaces in Lancaster County to take advantage of. What was the name of the place you went to?
Noldy Forest. So
where's that?
That's it's north. It's off 625. It's north of in northern Lancaster. You can just go 625 and it's a little bit into Berks County. But another place, we'll go anywhere. I mean, it's all different, lots of places. But
there's the golden.
Yep, there's Cinnamon and Beth.
That's awesome. How old is Cinnamon?
Cinnamon will be 7 years old in 2 weeks.
Okay, cool.
Now imagine this. Imagine being in a pen for 5 years. No calling, nothing, no, just in a pen, and the only reason you're in that pen was to be bred. Beth and I had to teach Cinnamon how to take walks. Just walking from point A to point B.
Yeah.
and it took a lot of training, a lot of effort. And I'll tell you what, it is Cinnamon's such a blessing to us. We're so grateful. So,
I mean, that's awful to hear that, she was in those sorts of conditions for 5 years, but, I'm sure super grateful to have you and Beth, for the last year and a half and saving her from that situation. So I bet she just loves to run around now.
Yep, she does.
That's awesome.
She has her little 76ers ball.
There you go.
Beth and I are convinced that she could do a better job coaching. That's a whole nother episode.
It very much is. Very much is. Okay. All right. We've mentioned a couple restaurants here in Lancaster County. We like to ask our Lancaster guests what their favorite restaurant is in Lancaster. Can't say Bert the Elephant because we've already talked about that. And we saw you in front of the Dipco, but maybe you have a favorite restaurant that's not the Dipco.
Well, for my birthday, Beth took me to the Belvedere, which is on North Queen Street, and it was a great. We were able to take her son and girlfriend, and had a great night. And so we went there, and they have great food, great service.
That's awesome. I saw
a lot of places in Lancaster, and you know that. I mean, I could just keep on naming them. I mean, it's just
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I did see recently a little, how things just pop up in your news feed. It was like something about the Belvedere being voted a top 5 romantic dinner spot in the state or the country. I don't know. It was pretty high on a pretty wide ranging list. So that's pretty cool. And, kudos to them and what they do. Yeah. I haven't been to the Belvedere in a while, but it's a very, very good place. And we've heard it a few times, more than a few times on this show that's a favorite place to go. Well, cool. Oh, look at this.
That was our first Stratix trip.
Okay. All right. This is like a go-kart sort of thing.
I was in Aruba. Yeah, it was a 4-wheeler machine. That was
there we go. There you go.
Very
awesome.
Chill.
Awesome. Now there's some photos. That's cool. Well, John, this has been great to catch up. Thank you for sharing about Stratix and all the cool things. All the essential things that Stratix does to help businesses right here in Lancaster County stay safe, keep everybody's data safe, and of course, how they manage businesses' IT solutions. You guys are doing amazing work there at Stratix. Thanks for sharing about you and some of the things that you've got going on, and some of the things you like to do here in Lancaster. It was great to have you on for the third time on Lancaster Connects. Appreciate it, John.
Hey, thank you so much. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah. Have a great rest of the afternoon.
You too.
Yep. See you. Always good to catch up with Mr. John Erisman. He's a friend of the show. He's a friend of Gardner's, friend of Jeff and I. So it's cool to catch up with John and just rap with him for a little bit. All right. Testimonial time. Again, Gardner's Mattress and More. Lancaster Connects is brought to you by Gardner's Mattress and More. I guess you could call Gardner's the Lancaster Connects sponsor. So a little bit of Gardner stuff here. Because why not? We have a book called Sleep Better. It's a book of helpful sleep tips and information designed to help you sleep better, even without investing in a brand new mattress. Of course, that's what we do here at Gardner's. We help you wake up happy through a better night's sleep. We guarantee it. Obviously through a new mattress purchase, but the book Sleep Better is chock full of helpful sleep tips and information. Lot of helpful tips there. We've read some on the show before. There's a lot of things that you can do to the bedroom, to your sleep routine, to what you eat, how you manage your body. That doesn't even involve a new mattress. There are ways that you can just sleep better by just changing small things about your daily routine. For example, this book lays it all out, written by Jeff, and it's free. It's a book you can come in and request, and we'll give you a free copy. You can also request it on the website, gardnersmattressandmore.com/sleep-better. There it is there on the screen. Free book. There's also some guides and other helpful sleep tips and information. We've had a couple of shows recently about how to find the perfect pillow and how to find the perfect set of sheets. If those are two things that you're curious about, definitely check out the recent shows. Again, you can check them out on the Lancaster Connects page or go to our YouTube channel. Just search up Lancaster Connects. Find those, help you sleep better with a new mattress or a new set of sheets. And if you're wondering why a new pillow or why a new set of sheets and how they can help you sleep better, those guides and those last two episodes related to those items lay it out. So there's some photos there of those guides. So those are different than the Sleep Better guides. They're just specifically about choosing the perfect mattress, the pillow, adjustable bed base, sheets. And we even now have one for natural mattresses as well. Mattresses made without memory foam, mattresses made with natural materials, like foam rubber, latex. We typically read testimonials that come in for Gardner's Mattress and More. These are cool. These handwritten testimonials. We ask, our customers just a few questions. We give them a few papers like this on our feedback form on delivery, and they fill it out and mail it back, put a stamp on it, put it in the actual mailbox. Of course, we've got a lot of great reviews on Facebook and Google. You can check out what some awesome customers have said about us there. But we get these handwritten testimonials that came in, and I thought this one was interesting. We have a big showroom. There's a lot of mattresses in here, and most mattresses we have on adjustable bed bases, but sometimes maybe the mattress and the bed base that you're considering are on opposite sides of the showroom. So in this case, Joyce, who was helped by Drew and somebody else here, she had two of the sales associates change a mattress onto a bed frame so I could decide between the two. So during her visit here, we physically picked up a mattress and moved it to another part of the showroom so she could try out the exact combination mattress and bed base that she wanted to experience. They were very helpful and explained the differences between the two mattresses, and really made her decision easier because she could actually try it out the way that she wanted to invest it. So that's just the type of service that we will go to ensure that you are waking up happy every morning. Again, Gardner's Mattress and More is who we are. It allows us to give back to the community through our Lancaster Connects podcast here. And Again, we've been around for 35 years, helping Lancaster wake up happy every morning. And we'd love to do that for you as well. If you're waking up with pain, you've tossed and turned at night, you're just not getting the sleep you deserve, we can help. Gardner's Mattress and More can help. So we're, we have a retail store, which is where I'm sitting. It's behind Park City Mall, on Plaza Boulevard, next to TJ Maxx. Not in that shopping center where TJ Maxx is, but the very next building. Past TJ Maxx, that's us, which Vanscoy Jewelers out front, and we share their building. So last 15 years, Reader's Choice favorite mattress store. So kind of a big deal in the mattress world. So at least we like to think so. And I think our customers think so as well, as evidenced by some of those reviews. That's it. That's it for today's show. Thank you to John Erisman, and thank you to Stratix Systems for being a guest on today's episode. Like I said, we are booking into the spring and summer. We've got shows booked up through about the middle of May, which is awesome. So a lot of great shows coming up, including some awesome nonprofit and charitable organizations over the next handful of shows. Definitely check us out Mondays at 2:00. Every Monday at 2:00, live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, and more. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. And Lancaster, have a great rest of the afternoon. We'll see you.